Hey ladies, Happy New Year. It's Coach Steph. I'm coming on. This live is going to be so good. So if you can't watch right now, make sure you come back, comment and say, hey, I can like your post so that you can come back and see this because this is going to be really good. I got my notes and I'm ready. I'm going to talk about goal setting. So it's January 1st. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everyone had a safe New Year's Eve and we're thinking about goal setting. And I love planning. I'm a Virgo, so I don't know if y'all can see this big old calendar. I've already started planning my 2026. I use something called Airtable that is like a spreadsheet on steroids to plan. And I love planning, but here are a few things that you do not want to do if you have weight loss goals or any kind of goals, really. You can apply this actually across the board. And I'm going to tell you some mistakes that I see when people are planning and goal setting. I know we have really good intentions, and I want you guys to make the most of your planning time and put the right things on your calendar. So, hey y'all, Cassandra, I haven't seen your name in such a long time. How are you? Y'all say hi to me in the comments. I don't think I can see them while I'm on live, but I will go back. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. If you guys have podcast recommendations, the Fit Figure Formula podcast is back. So make sure you're checking out the Fit Figure Formula podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and check that out. I want to invite you to the Fit Figure Formula. This is my 16-week program where you get me as a dietitian in your back pocket. I'm also a weight loss mindset coach, and I help you for 16 weeks. Actually, if you join before January 20th, you'll get 20 weeks. So you get an extra month with me inside of the program. If you're interested in joining, you can click the link and apply. So thank you for joining, everyone. I've seen some names that I haven't seen here in a long time. I'm going to start going live in here every single week, y'all. So I'm going to start that back up because I think that was really helpful. So I want to help you with your goals. Drop in the chat, what goals do you have for 2026 for yourself? Have you made some weight loss goals? Have you made some mindset goals? Have you made some financial goals? Some relationship goals? Think about how you want to live your life. This is so important. It's not just about the goal. It's not just about the outcome, but it's really important that we take time to know, how do I want to get there? Okay. And I'm going to break this down and how you need to be setting your goals. If you set your goals this way, you'll be much more likely to actually accomplish them, because a lot of times we'll start out really good and we'll start out with this plan and these outcome goals and we're like, yes, we're going to do it. But by February, by March, by June, by next, May and November, etc., we've forgotten our goals. And so I don't want this to happen to you again this year. So let me know in the chat, what goals do you have for 2026? Have you set your goals yet? Have you done your planning? Are you doing any spring cleaning? For me, I know it's not spring, but I like to start the spring cleaning process even now. But I'm going to talk about you guys feeling super motivated and high energy during this time, because your environment, everyone else, it seems like everyone is starting their journey and reflecting and setting goals. And this feels like a really good time. And it is. I love the process of setting goals. And I think that we need to take this same energy and do it every week. Imagine if you took this same energy every single week and reflected and made goals and audited yourself more often. I think we need more New Year's resolution type energy, because if you do that more often throughout the year, you're actually going to reach your goals instead of just doing it one time in the year and then forgetting about it. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking down how you need to be setting goals. We do not just want to set outcome-based goals. The outcome-based goal is your big goal, right? Whether it's, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? Again, y'all put it in the chat. What are your goals for 2026? you want to make sure that you have these two other things. And I'm going off track off my notes, but I do want to follow my notes because I want you guys to really understand this and I want to break it down. So we have our new year, we're motivated, we got the new planner, we got our new goals, and we have a lot of high energy. But motivation, willpower, and discipline are going to wane up and down, right? You want to be able to set yourself up for success, even when your willpower is at a 3 out of 10, right? You don't want to have to always utilize willpower because that is going to fail. Okay. So it's really not so much about a discipline problem or about a willpower issue. It's more about setting yourself up for success, having clarity and having a structure so that you can reduce decision fatigue. Because this is what happens. Think about even just in a week when you start something and you're like, okay, I'm going to start over on Monday, and you start great on Monday, Tuesday, by Wednesday, it's getting a little shaky, Thursday, I don't know, Friday, you're TGIFing and you're just like, man, you know, that the weekend is a wash and you're starting again over on Monday, right? It's because we're making too many decisions. Like, especially as the week goes on and you get tired, our brain gets tired of making decisions. So we have to set up a system and an environment that is conducive to our goals. And that's not just like your physical environment. It is up here too, right? Like the thoughts that we think. So I'm going to be breaking down how to set goals, how to create action steps, and how to create rules. These are the 3 things that you need. Okay. So again, we don't want to just set outcome goals. So outcome goals sound like I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to be more consistent. That one's super vague as well. Like, I want to eat better. I want to eat more clean. I want to be healthy. What does that actually mean? So really, is that, oh, my A1C is a 5.6 now instead of a 6.3? Is it, I am walking 3 times a week, at least 3 weeks out of every month, because you do have to give yourself some room for error. It tells your brain like the big picture, but it doesn't actually tell you what to do. If you're just saying, I just want to be consistent, that's very vague and it's hard to accomplish that goal because it's not really clear. Okay. So you really want to set some identity-based goals. I have a podcast episode on this. Don't remember what number it is, but there is a podcast episode on the Fit Figure Formula podcast about setting identity-based goals. Okay. So we want to ask yourself, who are you becoming? Who would I need to be? So you take your outcome goals. Who would I need to be in order to accomplish this goal? What kind of thoughts would I need to have in order to accomplish this goal, right? And so it could look like I'm becoming someone who takes care of her body without punishment, right? I'm becoming somebody who talks to myself with love and kindness when I make a mistake. I'm becoming the person who reflects and gets curious whenever I feel like I'm making a mistake or I'm feeling like I'm failing. I lean into curiosity instead of criticism, right? So really thinking about yourself as a whole and your, like, how you operate in a different way. Okay. So then we need, your process. So your process is, I'm going to eat protein at every single meal and snack, right? That is something very check offable. I can say, okay, if I had a bag of chips today for my snack, I didn't reach that goal, right? But it's very simple to say, okay, I had beef jerky and I had my chips. So yes, I had a source of protein. So you want to make sure that you have process-based goals. You cannot just have the big goal, I want to lose 20 pounds and leave it at that. Because even that, it has a number to it. It's still kind of just like the outcome. The outcome goals are just a byproduct of the process. So you have to focus so much on the actual process. That is where your habits are going to create the goal. Okay. So make sure that you have goals like I'm going to eat protein every single meal and snack. I'm going to go for a 30-minute walk, 3 to 4 times a week, and give yourself some grace when you're doing it. Don't say you're going to do it every day, because you're not going to do it every day, y'all. You can't set perfectionistic goals, because remember, you're not setting goals just for your best weeks. You're setting goals for the weeks where you're sick, where you're not feeling good. Maybe you're depressed, you have a lot of anxiety, you got a lot going on, the kids are at home all summer long. Like, you're setting goals for all seasons, not just like when you're feeling at your best and have your most energy. Okay. So we want to take some action steps. Trying harder is not a strategy, right? I just have to try harder. I just need to do it. I talk to so many clients when I'm trying to get them to create behavior change. They're like, I don't know, I just need to do it. I know I was supposed to do this, but I just need to do it. I'm like, that sentence is self-sabotage. That's not going to help you actually reach your goal. You're going to want to, again, lean into curiosity. Your brain just needs very, very simple steps. Okay. So you want to make those steps small, specific, and repeatable. Okay. So instead of saying, I just want to eat better, you'll say, I'm going to plan 3 dinners every Sunday, right? Like, that's very like, okay, it's Sunday, got to plan 3 dinners. You can check that off of your to-do list, right? So you have to keep each step simple. So your process-based goals are probably going to be a little boring, right? They might be unsexy. They might your brain might say, oh, this is too simple. This is too easy. That's exactly how you want to feel, because that is what's going to help you keep going, even on the weeks where you may not be feeling your best. Okay. So we want to have our outcome goal, right? Our big goal. We want to have our processed goal. So that's our action steps that we're going to take. And then we want to have rules. So this one, honestly, is kind of a game changer, and it loops back around to the identity-based goals as well, because when you have a rule for yourself, it's like your identity might be, I am a self-disciplined person, right? Like I'm an athlete. I'm a 5 a.m. girly, right? That's kind of like, those are kind of like identity statements. And a rule might be, I don't miss 2 workouts in a row, right? So just like we have the unhelpful rule of I'll start over on Monday, we can make new rules for yourself to say, okay, I'm not going to miss 2 workouts in a row. So what this means is, and this is what I help my clients do in the Fit Figure formula, I call it your golf ball habits. I walk them through a very simple process of like putting all of your health habits on one sheet of paper, so you can just see it just in one shot. Here's my week. This is what it will look like. So you have to have a system so that you can see, okay, my workouts. So personally, I'll tell you mine: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are my workout days, right? So if I miss on Tuesday, Wednesday's already my rest day. So I'm not going to miss on Thursday because I already missed on Tuesday. Like, I don't miss 2 in a row. That's a rule that you can make for yourself. Another rule. When I go out to eat, I bag up half of my food, no matter where I'm at, and immediately, and then I just eat the half that's on my plate. Or I don't go out to eat super duper hungry. I will always have a snack before, something like that, right? So think about the times where you're stuck, or you get tripped up, you make mistakes, you overeat. Think about what precedes that. Did I just like go all day without eating, and now I'm super duper hungry when I get to the store? I'm not going to do that, right? So that's a rule, right? So you want to create these rules for yourself, because that speaks to your identity and just like what I do, right? So these rules need to be flexible. They need to be supportive. They actually remove the decision fatigue. And that is part of it. It's like, I don't want to have to make decisions from scratch every single day. We get tired by Thursday, Friday. We're just like, DoorDash me. Okay. You want to have a system set up so that some of the decisions that you need to make are already made. You've already pre-decided. And the good thing about that is, like, when you pre-decide, you have pre-decided with your highest and best brain, right? Your highest and best self in mind, not your tired, overworked, exhausted self, because she makes different decisions than your highest and best self. Okay. So this is different from restriction. So restriction is punitive. Restriction is rigid. Restriction is all or nothing. And restriction leads to burnout, because restriction tends to be, I'm doing everything or I'm doing nothing at all. So when you think about your rules, I don't want you to think about restrictions. I want you to think about guidelines. Think about value system, right? Like, these are my values. I value my body. I want to take care of myself. I don't want to be on diabetic medication. I don't want to be, on high blood pressure medication and scared to go to the doctor because I'm scared of what they're going to tell me, right? I want to break a generational cycle of obesity and diabetes and dying early. So this is what's really important to me. So I'm going to make some new rules for myself. This highest and best stuff. I'm going to make some identity-based goals, and I'm going to make some process-based goals as well. If you guys are coming in and you missed the beginning part of this, I would definitely go back once I finish and listen. Let me know in the chat if this is making sense, y'all. So we talked about our identity-based goals. We talked about process-based goals. We talked about your outcome-based goals and the rules that you set for yourself. These rules are really going to change your life. If you really sit down and think about where your self-sabotage comes from and make some new rules for yourself, this is literally going to change your life. Okay. So I'll give you some more examples of healthy rules. I don't skip meals to make up for overeating. I don't quit because I had a day off, right? Or even like, I don't start over on Monday because I overate. I focus on consistency, not perfection, right? So again, these rules reduce emotional decision-making. They create safety and trust with yourself. Think about how much you trust yourself more when you have a rule. And even if you break the rule, it's not about criticism. It's about curiosity. And you may need to tweak the rule, right? You get to do that. It keeps you moving forward even when motivation is low. Again, motivation, willpower, even discipline. Like, really, the discipline comes in with having the rule. The discipline comes in with having a process-based goal instead of just this big, vague goal that you don't actually know how to execute, that you end up kind of getting lost in the sauce because, again, that outcome-based goal is only a byproduct of your process. That's it. So you can't really get to the outcome-based goals without the process. Y'all, let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if you have questions and say yes in the chat if it's making sense. So also another thing that we want to think about when we talk about goals, what are you going to do when you have a setback? So I call this planning for the obstacle. You must plan for the obstacle. There's going to be setbacks. You may have, a death in the family. You may lose your job. You can't plan for each specific thing, but it's like when life gets hard, when life starts lifing, when I see myself not executing in the way that I would like to execute, what am I going to do? What am I going to think? What am I going to say? How am I going to regain myself? Like stress management, we had a stress management coach come into the formula to help us. She gave us some real tools that you can use anywhere that actually calm your nervous system. And what I got out of it was that, like, you can't necessarily think your way out of nervous system dysregulation. It comes through your five senses. And that was like, boom, like mind blown to me, because obviously I'm a mindset coach and I'm like, okay, your thoughts create your feelings. But I do understand that because there are times when I am profusely sweating. I've told y'all this before. Like when I get nervous in a social setting, I will sweat a lot underneath my armpits. And I'm talking about like it will drip, 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 drip into a puddle on the floor. Like it is a lot of sweat. Even sometimes when my brain, I'm not freaking out, like I'll have a speaking engagement. My brain isn't freaking out, but my body is like, oh my God. And so me telling myself like, it's okay, you're safe, like, you know, I'm okay, isn't working. And so she helped me understand that like your body actually needs the five senses, movement, physical touch and sensation to actually get that and move through those sensations instead of it just being bottled up in your body, because your mind can't really do anything about it. And so it was really, really good. So we want to make sure that those setbacks, you plan for the obstacle, and you understand that you will have setbacks. But this is one of the reasons why I tell my clients we have a reset day every Saturday. So you want to reset, and you want to get curious. Ask yourself 3 questions. What went well this week? What did not go well? How do I want to course correct for the next week? And you will never have a bad week. And you'll also keep in mind your goals, your process, your outcome, your identity. And you can remind yourself about that every single week, because that's so important. All right, y'all, let me know. Is this making sense? Say yes, yes, yes in the chat. Let's see. All right, so what are you trying to build this season? What identity do you need to build? Put it in the chat. What identity do you need to build in this season to really accomplish your goals? Like, let's stop playing. Let's stop playing like we're going to hit our goals or get 7,500 steps a day or work out. Like, our excuses, we got to get over those. Like, real talk. And I'm talking to myself now too, because there's some things that I've been thinking about. Oh yeah, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do it. And I'm just like, you know what, girl, it is time. What are you waiting for? So I will say the same thing to you, especially if you have been wanting to join the Fit Figure Formula. What are you waiting for? If you're over 40 and you're struggling with perimenopause, menopause, you don't know how to lose weight, you're struggling because you're doing a lot of cardio, you don't know how to lift weights, or even if you are lifting weights, you don't really know what you're doing. You're just going in there doing 3 sets of 10. You don't know what to eat. You're trying different things. You're trying to intermittent fast. You're hungry. You're kind of messing up your hormones by not eating enough. And you need help. I will be in your back pocket for 5 whole months. As long as you join before January 15th, I'm giving you an extra month inside the formula. All you do is click on the link that's pinned in the comments. You will apply to join the formula as long as you join before January 15th. I have HSA, FSA. So brand new year, a lot of y'all will have new funds in your HSA, FSA account. So you can use those funds towards joining. And you can also, I have Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, and I think PayPal credit that will allow you to split up the payments into chunks so that you can have installments and get full access immediately to the Fit Figure Formula. So not only are you going to get me in your back pocket, but you're going to get access to our guest experts. We have a hormone coach, a stress management coach, a time management coach. She's come a few times. Sleep coach, definitely having her back. She was so good for those of you who are not getting enough sleep. Yeah. And so I kind of I look at what is the need for the clients that I have. So I can always tweak that too. But if you're struggling, you should definitely apply. If you have questions, my DMs are open. If you've been looking and thinking about joining the formula, you might as well just apply. Or if you want, just DM me and ask me your questions. Tell me what your fears are. Why are you scared? Why haven't you applied yet? I know I've done a survey in the past where I asked people and they were like, I don't know if I am going to finish. I don't trust myself. I don't know if I'm going to spend the money, and then I don't know if I'm going to finish. That's exactly what we work on inside of the formula, is you learn to trust yourself, because I have learned from coaching hundreds of ladies is that self-trust is the most valuable virtue. That and curiosity, they're real close, is the most valuable virtue that you're going to need to keep the weight off and not be scared to regain it. Okay. So if you have questions, you guys let me know. Set your goals, but make sure you have outcome-based goals, identity-based goals, processes, and you have your rules, right? Have them written down. It's really important that you write those down. Don't just have them in your head. I'm going to help my clients with this. This is what we're going to be working on throughout January. I got some really good ideas and things that we're going to do during our mindset call. So inside the formula, Mondays and Thursdays are typically the days that we have calls, 7 p.m. CST. They're all recorded. So if you missed one, you can watch it back. And Mondays, I try to do some sort of mindset activity, again, to build your self-trust, your self-love, your self-acceptance, to tackle your negative self-talk, right? Like all of those things. I had one client who came in and she was having a really hard time just loving and accepting herself. And she is a former client now. She offboarded and she's like, yeah, I actually like myself. Like I'm accepting myself more. That makes me so happy. And I just saw her on her Instagram. She just got engaged like not too long ago. So I don't know. I love it. If you need help, I would love to help you. I love what I do. I've been doing this for a while. If you guys have questions, let me know. Let me see if there's anything else I want to tell y'all. No, Fit Figure Formula is the podcast episodes are back up and running, so y'all can check that out. And I actually have some on trust. So if you are scared, you can DM me, but also listen to the podcast episodes about trust. I think it's like 31, 32, 33, something like that. Like look in the 30s about self-trust during this process, and those will help you out. So, all right, thanks for watching.